Hi guys, so I just filmed and edited and uploaded my week 17 vlog, and now it is significantly dark outside and so the lighting is probably going to be a little different. It's so harsh. Anyways, alright, so one of the things that I guess I need to back up. If you haven't watched the week 17 vlog, you probably should, because I kind of talk about how some of those issues resolve themselves in this video, so you need to know the issues to understand where I'm going. Get it? Got it? Great. So one of the things I didn't talk about in my midwife appointment in the last video was that she did a few things to obviously make me feel a lot better. One of them, first, she didn't make me feel like an idiot for crying during my appointment, which I really, really appreciate. And I think is a good thing to look for in a doctor. You know, when they make you feel like an idiot when you're feeling emotional like that, it's probably not a good thing. And then, two, she talked about how kind of other patients have been in similar situations, and it made me feel a lot more normal as well. So that was really very, very helpful, actually. Because your husband can tell you a million times, that makes perfect sense. You know, as a guy, I felt the same way. But I think when you are the one carrying the baby, you feel like you should be extremely bonded to it from the second it's there. And in a way you are, but I just had a harder time with it in this pregnancy for some reason. But the most important thing that she did in that appointment is she was like, you know what, instead of using the Doppler and just hearing the heartbeat, why don't I just bring in the ultrasound machine and we can take a look at the baby? And that honestly made, it started the turnaround. And it really, really helped me in just this crazy, crazy way. So we started looking at the ultrasound, and the baby looked like a baby. You know what I mean? Like it looked like a fully formed baby, because you can't tell there's no landmarks to be able to tell what the size of the baby is, right? And it's basically fully formed, and the head looks pretty normal and the face looks pretty normal, and so it doesn't look like this kind of in progress fetus anymore like you're used to seeing at 6 weeks. And even at the 11 and 12 week ultrasounds that I had, the head was still, or the forehead was still a little kind of big. It protrudes a little bit at that point, and the ears aren't quite at the right position, and the eyes, everything's still kind of moving to where it needs to be. And at this point, when I was 17 weeks almost, it just looked like a perfectly formed baby. And so she took a picture, and it looked like the skeleton-y type picture. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not being mean towards my baby, but the face looked kind of like the skull, right? And those pictures kind of freaked me out a little bit. But then she took this picture that is perfect. It's perfect. And it's just what I needed to see. And it's got it looks like the shape of a head and ears, and the little hand was up by its face, and you could kind of see I think the elbow or something of the other hand, and both of its knees were up, so you had this big belly and the knees, and she was so we looked at the ultrasound for a long time, because my umbilical cord, or the baby's umbilical cord, and we share it, it's our umbilical cord, it was pulsing in time with this heartbeat. And she was like, I have never seen that before. And it was just so cool and so alive, and the baby was moving, and it was just awesome. It was just a really, really good ultrasound. And she asked if I wanted to find out the gender, and I didn't, because my husband wasn't there. I didn't want to find out without him. So I was like, no, I'm not. Surprisingly, at that point, even though I wanted to know the gender, I wasn't there yet. You know what I mean? I was super emotionally fried, and it had been a really stressful, horrible day and morning. So I wanted to have that buildup of the gender ultrasound where you go and you're so excited, and it's you and your husband, and I don't know, I envisioned it differently, and so I didn't want to find out at the moment. Even though I was I really wish I could, because it would make me feel even better, but I want my husband to be there for that moment too. So she gave me the two ultrasound pictures, the one that's kind of looks a little more skeleton-y, and then the one that's awesome. And I've edited those just like I edited my 11 and 12 week ultrasounds, and I'm going to put it on my blog. So I'll include a link down below, and I'll include a link over on my 17-week video too, so you guys can check out that ultrasound picture because I love it. I know some people are very good at reading ultrasounds. You guys probably are, but like for my like family and friends, I like labeled it what some of your stuff was. So just kind of take it for what it is, I guess. And then so I went home and I talked to my husband about it, and again he said, you know, for me it didn't become real until we knew Hannah was a girl, and we knew her name was Hannah, and we didn't know what she looked like or anything like that, but like we could kind of start seeing how our future was going to play out with a daughter, you know? Because I just think that that moment you find out the gender, whenever it is, while you're pregnant or at delivery, wherever it is, it's such a life-changing moment. Because I mean, even if your girl is like the biggest tomboy, like it's still a daughter, you know? I don't know. So I'm really excited to get to the point where we can kind of start visualizing like how our family is going to take shape. Like, are we going to have 2 little girls, which would be super cute? Or are we going to have a girl and a boy, which again would be like super cute? I don't care either way, I just kind of want to know. Oops, I forgot to clear off memory in my memory card, so I'm gonna have to join together these 2 videos. But anyways, I just can't wait to like find out what the gender is, and we should find out the gender in a week. So Chris and I are still trying to figure out how we're going to like reveal the gender. I don't want to necessarily find out in like a dark room with ultrasound tech, so I'm thinking of having them like put it in an envelope and either have Hannah tell us by telling us like pink or blue, or with a balloon. I'm not sure. I still have a week to like figure it out and finalize it, but we'll probably do it that same night because I don't know how I'd be able to sleep without doing that. And of course we'll film that. And then either that night or on Saturday we'll tell family and friends, and then once everyone like kind of in our real life thing kind of knows, then I will definitely announce it in a YouTube video. And probably what I'll do is I'll just incorporate it into my week 19 pregnancy vlog. So for all of those wanting to know what the gender is and when I'm going to find out, that's your answer. I do not know. I think some people think that I do and I'm hiding it. I don't. In fact, I'm kind of a stress ball when I start thinking about finding out the gender because I'm super excited about it. So anyways, another thing that happened in this past week that like really just kind of turned everything around is I felt the baby kick. I had been feeling like little flutters, but to me I think that you can like kind of psych yourself out to feel flutters because, and the reason why I know this is because when I wasn't pregnant and I would feel like ghost baby kicks, and it would really freak me out. I wrote this whole blog post about it. I think I made a video, I did something about this, I think it's a blog, about like feeling kicks when you knew that you weren't pregnant and how it messes with your mind. And so when I felt these first flutters over the past couple of weeks, they were just like really light, and they weren't, it wouldn't be like 10 in an hour or 3 in an hour, it would be like 1 a day. And then like a couple days later I'd feel something else. And it's gotten to the point where my what is that called? Fundal height. Fundal height is to my belly button or just above, I think, and I can totally feel like where my uterus is. And I keep like caressing it, like kind of like pushing down and being like, kick, I need to feel you kick. And I was just sitting there the other day on the couch. I think it was during Hannah's nap time, and it was just really chill, and all of a sudden I felt this like kick, 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 kick. And it wasn't rhythmic like hiccups, it was like they were little kicks. And man, it was just this super awesome, amazing moment. And it was just one of those like aha moments where you realize that like there is seriously a baby in here. like no joke, seriously a baby. And this baby is big enough to kick to the point where I can feel it. It is crazy to me that the baby is now like 5 inches. I don't know, where's the ruler? Oh, like that one actually. This is the beauty of filming in a craft room. Ruler. Okay, so the baby is that long, like, so you got a little head, we got a tummy and a booty, and then it's got like legs. So I mean, that's pretty long. From there to like there. That's my head. So that's exciting. That's getting big. And it weighs 5 ounces, I think. Yeah. And the crazy thing is that between now at 18 weeks, 19, 20, 21, 22, 21 to 22 weeks, I think it's 21, maybe 22. It's going to go through a huge, huge growth spurt over the next like month. Crazy. So, yeah. So I'm feeling a lot better about the pregnancy. I'm feeling like now that I can every once in a while feel it. And also I talked to Megan and Layla. She's one of the girls that she's on Team Green, and she waits until her delivery to find out the gender, and I think it is so awesome and it's so amazing that she has that moment, and I wish that I could relax enough to like delay it like she can. That's amazing, and a lot of self-restraint. But I know how strongly she feels about that moment, and so I asked her, like, kind of how does she bond during the pregnancy when you don't know the gender and stuff, you know, kind of what, I told her the issues I was having, and I was like, what do you do? And she said that she puts the ultrasound on her refrigerator, kind of like at eye level, and so she sees it every day. So as soon as I got that ultrasound picture, the really good one, I put it on the fridge and I look at it every day, and it's just made like a huge difference because I have other ones, and I'm looking at them right there, and I'm actually working on a scrapbook to incorporate the 11-week and 12-week, so I didn't put them up on the fridge. I brought them down here in my craft room. And it was such kind of like a, duh, just put the stupid picture on the fridge so you can see it every day. And that's actually helped a lot. And feeling at kick and just kind of not feeling so guilty. Not feeling like such a bad person, and not feeling like I am the only one in the whole world that is having a hard time imagining the fact that they are pregnant. Like, it just seems so crazy to me. Just kind of crazy. You know, I don't know why. But kind of hearing that, I don't even care if there's just one other person in the history of the world that has felt this way. Like, it just kind of makes you feel like you're not such a freak. And so that really helped, and now I feel super excited. I also think that, so I did the baby boy haul at the consignment events, and that was kind of helping. So now I'm like super focused on like baby boy stuff. But then I also had to go through all of my baby girl stuff because we just had a little niece, a little girl, and so I had to dig through some of it to find some onesies that I forgot to pack and send. And so now, like, seeing all those tiny, tiny newborn and 0 to 3 month clothing of both like boy and girl has just made me so excited. So excited. So excited for Christmas, like having like Christmas gifts for this baby, because it seems like frivolous, but I know we'll do it. And I'm just super excited. So I think all those things combined have really helped kind of turn me around, but I think the biggest one was just kind of going a little easier on myself. I have a lot of critics out there because I do YouTube vlogs, but I am definitely one of the biggest, and I'm definitely very critical of myself. And when I feel like I'm having an emotional response that is not like super mom, you know, it's not like this like perfect mom response, I just get like disappointed in myself, and it's just this vicious cycle. And so getting out of that has just made a huge world of difference. And I'm hoping that if anyone out there is having like a hard time bonding, or kind of maybe theirs was like a completely surprise pregnancy and they're like really overwhelmed, or whatever it might be, just knowing that like there is going to be a moment, and who knows when it's going to be. First kick, a really great ultrasound picture, or finding out the gender, or something is going to happen. Finding that you're like picking out your like one of the big things for me with Hannah was finally figuring out what outfit she was going to wear home from the hospital, and like packing that in the bag. That was like such a huge moment where I was like, I am going to bring a baby home and she's going to be wearing this outfit. So like, you never really know when it's going to happen, and maybe it's just like little puzzle pieces or building blocks that like help you get to the point where you are like super out of your mind excited for this pregnancy, or where it slowly starts becoming really real and not just kind of like a, okay, I'm pregnant and in 9 months we're gonna have a baby. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm excited, but I'm not really sure what that means and what that's gonna entail in my life and how it's going to change things. There are just gonna be moments along your pregnancy or your delivery or whatever that are gonna help you get to that point where you are super excited, and I am 95% of the way there. I think once I find out the gender, I'm going to be completely over the moon. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, belly shot. Duh. Alright, let me figure out where I'm going to do the belly shot. I'm going to stop and then set up and record, okay? Okay, so this is 18 weeks. Hopefully you can see. It's huge, right? It's so big. So anyways, at this point, 18 weeks, I am down 26.5 pounds. So I definitely notice that I'm like thinner through here, and then big belly. And I'm in my maternity jeans, but they're all fitting kind of weird because my thighs are thinner than they were, but my tummy is big. So, yeah. Thanks so much for watching my 18-week video and my 17-week video where I was long, rambly, emotional mess. I appreciate you guys following my journey, and it is crazy that I just did my first belly shot of this pregnancy. That's nuts. So, yeah, I guess we will talk next week when I will tell you guys the gender. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. Leave your bets down below. Do you think it's gonna be a girl or do you think it's gonna be a boy? So far, I think it seems to be like probably 40% girl, 60% boy. I think that's kind of what I've noticed so far. So yeah, leave a comment down below and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.